So which branch of the federal government does the Constitution focus on the most? I've been saying this for multiple years and showing it with pages in the Constitution, but have found this helpful chart that gives the word count of the different areas of the Constitution that are broken down into articles, which are the different divisions of the Constitution. And as is obvious from this chart, Article 1, the legislative branch or Congress, receives the most constitutional attention and focus. This section, this article on Congress, I hesitate to say section because sections are the subdivisions of the articles. This article comprises 2,268 words, which is 52% of the overall Constitution, which means that the constitutional authors, for good or bad, spent most of their time writing rules, writing the framework of how Congress would operate more so than any other branch. It takes up over half of the Constitution. It took up most of the Philadelphia Convention in discussion of Congress, that Congress, simply by word count and amount of constitutional attention, is the primary branch, is the branch that has the most powers, is the branch that has the most rules and details and information written about it. In contrast, highlighting that, Article 2 about the executive branch, presidency, has 1,025 words and is only 23% of the overall Constitution, which means that the presidency, in number of words and content in the Constitution, is almost about half the amount of information about Congress. In addition to that, Article 3 about the Supreme Court is about half a page, 377 words, very few specific powers mentioned, really undefined even in the Constitution, and limitable by Congress, and only comprises about 8% of the overall Constitution. The other articles have seemingly less words than talking about the role of the states and ratification and how to amend the Constitution and those type of things, that they're shorter. But the overall focus of the Constitution was on the legislative branch, which James Madison believed could be potentially the most dangerous branch. But what is the branch of American focus today? Somewhat on Congress. It's not that Congress is ignored, but it's on the presidency. Or every once in a while, when there's a big case or in a presidential appointment to the Supreme Court takes the main stage and attention. Or we only think about Congress in relation to the presidency. But it's a very powerful branch because, as James Madison pointed out, it has the pen to write the laws, and it has the purse to raise taxes. Now, the presidency has grown in reality beyond the imagination of the constitutional framers or anyone from that time period, and has created a federal bureaucracy that writes more legislation than Congress in regulations and other types of things through federal executive agencies. But that's another issue. So it is important to focus on the presidency. However, it is telling to look at the constitutional material in this way and see what the writers of the Constitution thought was most important. And I think we can see that by what they devoted the most words to.